Welcome back to Case Closed. Number review, episode number 61. Yep. This time I'm viewing the 965th episode of the anime, which is Kaiju Gomera versus Kamen Yaiba, basically Mass Yaiba, Prologue, and the 1046th manga, the Meijin's Winning Hand. This episode is pretty much TV original. Yep. More TV original stuff. Now, here's what this episode's got for it. Like with last multi-parter, good writing, which is a good thing. We also get brand new animation. Like the episode opens up like, oh my gosh, it's like they have been saving this for months. Like having pretty decent animation. Basically, it's like we get. It seems like this episode got a brand new team and fresh stuff. The cam work for this episode was so good. I mean, yes, the character designs still pretty much look the same, but the way the rest of the episode look, it looks so good. I love the cam work in this episode, and the fact that, well, we actually got a new opening title sequence. Yes, for the first time since episode, because the previous opening title sequence, they've had this one for about 24 episodes. Yes, for the previous 24 episodes, it was the same opening title sequence because it seemed that almost any time we get an opening title sequence, one thing I noticed for the show is that anytime we get a new canon episode come up, but no, this is not a canon episode, this is a filler. And my gosh, it seemed like people who made this opening title sequence, like the song is fantastic, I love the song. It seems like people who worked on this one also worked on JoJo Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. Seems like the one people who worked on that opening theme worked on this one. And it's really good. They even throw in stuff from the actual manga itself. Yes, pages from the manga of Case Closed appear in the opening title sequence. Really good. Yep. Now, this episode starts off with a promotion. That's how I know we got a new animation for this one. Though it's really good animation, not terrible one. Okay. Now, the thing opens up with we see a promotion image for Kaiju Gomera. Yep, one of the recurring fictional character within the series, and apparently then now it's like, oh, we have the legendary monster Kaiju Gomera versus the invincible superhero Mass Yaiba, so Kamen Yaiba in the sub. And the announcement is they're gonna fight each other in a movie, and this is basically a production. It's not something really soon. I'm like, oh, interesting. Yeah, a motorcycle superhero versus a kaiju monster. Yeah, this sounds interesting to me. And apparently, we also see in this episode, not only we have Conan, we have the Junior Detective League, the entire group, Richard Moore, Rachel, and for the first time since the last canon episode of the series, actually second to last canon episode, Return of Mary-chan. For Mari-chan, which was episode 942, Harley and Kachin make their return. Yep, for the first time since every episode. It's only been 23 episodes since the last appearance. And here's the thing. The last time they appeared in a filler episode was back in episode 555. So it's been 410 episodes since the last time they appeared in a filler episode, which I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I never expected to appear again. That was the Stork Mystery Tour. Great to see the fact they appear in outside of it. Because here's kind of the thing with the upcoming appearances. Yes, they do have a couple upcoming appearances in the manga when it comes to this particular series. Yeah, they have at least two more, but it says that yes, that we could not have these characters show up. Yeah, nothing says they can't, because it's a filler. You can't do any major character development that's not explored already in the manga yet. So, and at the end of the episode, we see return a character that has not been seen since another canon episode of the series. I'll get to him soon. I was surprised to see the guy. Oh yeah, I was surprised to see him. I'll get to because just in the in the post credit sequence before they get to the, let's just say, the teaser for the next week's episode. Yeah, so everyone's like so excited. Of course, Richard Moore's like drunk like usual, and they meet with the producer who apparently is a fan of his, and apparently Richard Moore did not know anything about the fact that he's going to be an extra in the movie. Yeah, he did not know anything about it, so he's surprised. Like, and Rachel's like, "Oh yeah, it was on the invitation." It's like, really? I didn't notice that. And apparently Harley got invited to this party via Kachin. Yep, she basically was a. I'm like, that's interesting. I never suspected that she was a kaiju fan. Yeah, it's like, this is fine as long as it's not development of the ship. Which, yeah, it's been hinted at the whole series that both these two have feeling for each other, but they're hesitant to reveal each other because they're too stubborn. Yep. So we all see the victim, the guy named Yamachi, I think, Yosen, I think his name is. Yeah, there's something on with him, and like he's apparently getting a message to go to another room while everything is going on, and then he goes to the room, and apparently it's a room with kaiju costumes. Interesting. The one that he's standing in front of is like, okay, now this is made for the show. As far as I can tell, Toho, who's known for making kaiju monsters, they don't have a monster that has basically teeth like this. Not that I can think of, no. I mean, it looks like a saber-tooth tiger. And we see a mysterious guy who's on top of, they see like the, let's say the bad guy, in shadow silhouette. And he's he's taking his knife out to basically bring the kaiju monster right on top of the guy. Yeah, right on top of him, and he drops it briefly, though they do none of this later on, and then he starts to cut it, and then the thing falls right on top of him, stabs him right in the freaking gut, and then Conan notices some of the other producers basically getting very flustered, like something strange happens. So Conan, Harley, and Richard, instead of rushing up and goes happen, and it turns out the top producer was murdered. Yeah, they found out he was murdered, despite the fact the audience already knew that. And, well, because apparently the studio they're in is Okita, the place that where Harley is from, and the detective he's known for being with shows up. Yeah, there's another character shows up. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, he makes his first appearance in quite some time. Like, I'm trying to remember, I think the last time he showed up, I don't remember the last time I showed up. It feels like it's been a long time. Also, because it's the first episode of New Year, we have Conan basically welcome everybody to New Year. He did the same thing for at the start of the previous year. Yeah, he does this like every season. Like every time the new starts off, we have him basically. You have Conan and Komodo basically welcome everybody to the New Year for the show. And it's a brief time sequence. I think the last one I saw for this series was the one that started off the previous season, where they had that two-part that had a kabuki actor actually make a guest star appearance in the series for a two-parter, which was really good. I have reviewed that. It was part of my review for season 27 of the show. Yep, and like they notice things like apparently someone on his the missing his finger, and of course they try almost looking like Richard, like, okay, this must be an accident. And Harry's like, you sure about that? Yeah, and they prove basically also climbing on top of the scaffolding. He's like, yep, this is definitely murder. And they can't identify what knife it is to cut this up, but yeah, it's definitely murder. So they bring in one of the assistants, and apparently the guy he had an argument with the producer over the fact he may have stolen his ideas. But yeah, they work together frequently, but there was nothing really much there. They talked to a couple other guys. And they talked to assistants about what was going on. Like, of course, bit update here, and he does ask producer basically like a very good question. And surprisingly, because normally whenever he asks a question to anybody during the course of let's say a interview, he gets smacked in the hip by Richard Moore. This one, no, he doesn't, because he asks a good question. Like, then why'd you go to that room at that particular time? Because he says he got a note. and everybody's basically interested in like, yeah, which is quite something. hmm And then later on, they have Harley and Conan talk to her assistant about some of the other people. They talk to a couple of their assistants, basically, who actually access the room. One of whom has got a broken leg, and like, oh yeah, we can't exactly go up. Like one guy basically could possibly do it, but he's got a broken leg, taking a while to do it. The other guy basically could definitely do it too, but he's afraid of heights. And it's kind of clear by the end of the episode, these two may be possibly the killers. Like, one could hold a door because they could based on a photo that one could do, but yeah, they kind of officially confirm possibly both of them do it. And then basically it's like, okay, we have to basically hold them off, make sure it's the building. They capture the one guy with a broken leg really easily, and the other one gets off in the vehicle. And then I have like this guy up here. Let's see. Where is he? He is. Okay, I found the episode of that period. Okay, so okay, that was weird. Anyways, yes. Um, then he gets on the vehicle, and basically Conan and Harley notice that Rachel and Katja basically walk across the crosswalk, and the guy doesn't see them. And Rachel tells Katja over the sidewalk, and she wasn't gonna take the full thing. And until they, and then they have the credits, and then Underdark makes a return in the very same episode. Yep. Who is it? Aki. Him and his I'm like, damn. When I saw this guy, apparently he also dyed his hair because on his episode his hair is red for some reason. Like, wow. And he says Rachel, and that's where the episode ends. And the preview has returned. Charlie, yep, his parents in quite some time. Like, I'm thinking of like, when was the last time he showed up in this series? Because it's been some time. I think last time he showed up was back in a Canada episode. I'm trying to look it up here. Of course, his father is no police chief, and I'm like, okay, when was the last time he actually showed up in the damn series? Because it feels as though it's been a long time. Because I have the last night. I'm trying now. His last appearance in episode 7 and 12. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to see him return in the next week's episode. But yeah, really good episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yep. Definitely looking forward to next week's episode. Now for the new chapter in the manga. The Winning Hand. Yep. Okay. Though I should point out this chapter does wrap up this particular arc. Yeah, this arc, like the last couple, have only been just 4 chapters. I'm like, really? That's it? Okay. So we have Tanjin, I think his name is. Yeah, he's Sarah's middle brother. Yeah, he's talking to the guy who actually committed the crime. As to who the person is, I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then we have Conan with Aki, just trying to find him. And I suspect one of Tanjin's friends may be the one to do it. And it turns out, yeah, it's the chubby guy. Yeah, he's the one who actually did it. He actually in his apartment. And the one who killed him and basically stole their stuff. Yep, it's revealed. So they possibly could do a match. They drive to the place. And of course, while Conan calls his phone, phone gets smashed by him with the back of a butcher knife he has. And then they get up to the place. Apparently, there's another phone. that's there, basically witnessing all this. Oh yeah, it's Conan's phone. And then he uses his soccer ball. He gets out of his belt, which first time I've seen actually do in the manga, basically regular viewing it, and bounces off and hits the guy right in the face. Yep. And of course, Aki shoots his gun off, basically ricocheting off and knocking the guy out. And, well, misses him, and of course, Conan knocks him with his dark gun, with tranquilizer. And it turns out, yeah, okay, so apparently the reason why he did it, because he felt injustice by them. Because apparently they were very cruel players in the game. So that's the reason why he killed them. And of course, well, then we talk and mention about their about Sarah's mom, which anybody who's read the manga knows she's basically a little girl now. And then we see the chapter ends quite interestingly. That we might see the return of the Black Organization. Because it's the Vermouth, Bourbon, Vodka and Bourbon, Karshin, and one of the other sniper. Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like we might be soon seeing the return of the Black Organization. First time they've been active in this series in quite some time. Yeah, with the exception of like one exception of that one guy. I don't remember his name. I forget his name. Yeah, with the exception of him, like the Black Organization has not been active in some time in this series. It's like, wow, we're finally gonna bring them back. Awesome. Looking forward to it. I get this chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. Really good chapter. Wraps up this very good arc. I've loved this arc the whole way through. And I think the killer's motive was actually not exactly very weak, but at least he had a reason for it. Yeah, because, well, he was killing players basically who were very cruel to their opponents. So that's the reason why he was doing it. Yeah. But that's basically kind of like a minor thing compared to this chapter. Heck, Yumi does not appear in this chapter for some reason. I'm like, really? His smoking hot girlfriend doesn't appear, but he does? Okay, fine. It's like, if you look at it, with the exception of flashback and present day stuff, there's no women who appear in this whole chapter. There's like roughly 4 characters in this whole chapter. Like Conan, Aki, Tudger, and the guy and the killer. That's it. Yeah, that's quite surprising though, the fact it's like that. Yeah. Otherwise though, that's really it for this particular review. Yeah, not much to say about the new chapter, but loved it. Really good. Though I have to wait till February 26th for the next chapter. Basically, yeah, I have to wait like a little over a month for the next chapter. That's not the usual. Let's do 3, 4. Yeah, basically you have to wait about like a little over a month before like the next chapter, like about 2 months before the next chapter is released. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter when it comes out. Yeah, so hopefully the next arc is a little bit longer than 4 chapters, but who knows? Depends on what the writer was going to do. Okay, I would think though that with the amount of chapters they have depth, the last one they did was on the Black Bunny Club case. I'm thinking, like, okay, so like I'm sure there probably is enough chapters in the manga to that have been released so they can do like another story arc if they wanted to. Yeah, but that just depends on when the studio basically is going to do it, because last one they did was Black Bunny Place. That was like a few months ago. So interesting though, even though we just got off multi-part, we'll have another multi-parter, but I'm sure some people might get bored of the multi-part. I tell it. Yeah, last one they did was like chapter like 1012. I would think though, because they got the 1012 and this is basically 1046. It's like 34 chapters, so they could do the next arc that, or they're probably waiting for the next show that come out before they start doing it. I don't know. Just a theory I have right now. Okay. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have roughly one more review I want to do today, and that's a review of hopefully Rema half. Okay. But to see you next review. Bye.